2026 is the year we stop letting bad habits win, build consistency in helpful habits, and smash our running goals. You and I, we're doing this. Hi, I'm Shauna, this is Shauna's World. Welcome back to my channel where I make videos for regular runners sharing the raw, unfiltered journey. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Shauna's World. So after last year was so challenging in terms of training and consistency with my running, as well as getting enough sleep and doing all the things that would enable me to thrive as a runner, I DNF'd my first attempt at 100k and vowed that 2026 was going to be different. In 2026, I would be showing up for myself, staying consistently, and doing whatever it takes to reach my running goals. If you've seen my last videos, I've started the year with a 75-day challenge where I'm sticking to 7 habits that will help me be more disciplined and more consistent to set the foundations for a much stronger year of running. As I film, we're 2 weeks into the year, and I have to say this challenge is going pretty well so far, especially for me. Now, I'm not beating myself up if I don't do it perfectly. I don't think that's healthy. I'm not doing the 75 hard method of if I make a mistake or miss a habit one day, starting again from the beginning. But if I do slip up, I am aiming to learn from that and not repeat the mistake. I'm really staying with the intention of showing up for myself as consistently as I possibly can. I started 2026 in the best possible way. I went for a run at midnight as the year was transitioning from 2025 to 2026, and it was a last-minute decision, and it was such a good idea. I was a little bit scared, but it was a really fun way to start the year.
It's like 10 to midnight now, and I'm heading out on a run, and I'll be running at midnight when it crosses over into the new year. Happy New Year! It's 2026! Fireworks going off around me, and I'm running into the new year.
Now, I've been pursuing these 7 habits for the last 2 weeks, but I haven't been documenting it as much as I'd intended to. To be honest, I've just fallen out of the habit of regular vlogging, and I've just been living life and doing it and going through the things and forgetting to pick up my camera. But this video will share a quick recap of what my 7 habits are and how they're going so far, how the 2 weeks have been. So firstly, the intention is to hit every session in my training plan, which at the moment is generally 4 runs in a week and 2 strength sessions in a week. I'm pleased to say, since the 1st of January, I have hit every session in my plan. Winter training is usually really hard for me. I get sick a lot, so I found the last couple of winters really hard, and in general in winter, my motivation is lower. I struggle to get out when it's cold or it's rainy. So this year I decided to do things differently for winter and do most of my winter runs on the treadmill. It's definitely a bit more boring than running outside. It can be a real grind, just being in the gym with no views, with no distractions. I do have YouTube on when I'm training on the treadmill, but it can be pretty boring just being in one spot, especially on the longer sessions. However, it does remove the barrier for me of getting out. It's just getting myself to the gym feels easy because I know it's warm and dry, and then once I'm in the gym I don't find it hard to train, whereas getting out when it's cold or damp, it's just there's a psychological block there, and I keep procrastinating, and then suddenly the day is over. So doing it in the gym has really helped me get all my sessions done. I also switched from the gym I'd been using for probably about a year to a gym that's closer to me, because that removed the barrier of a 30-minute walk to the gym when it was cold or rainy that sometimes stopped me getting there. Also, the gym I'm with now has a sauna, and I do love a sauna, so that's a nice little motivation to get me into the gym, so I know once I've done my session I can get in the sauna and just relax and be at peace, and I love it. The next habit I've been focusing on, which is closely tied in with the first, is doing 30 minutes of conscious movement per day. So this generally means doing whatever's in my training plan, but what it means is when I have a rest day in my plan, I am doing conscious movement on those days. That's usually something very gentle, usually a walk or yoga, but 30 minutes of movement. Now, this has been really good for getting me in the habit of moving my body every day, even if it's recovery movement. And I think I was in a bit of a habit of vegging out and just rotting on a rest day, and then getting too comfortable and then finding it harder to get back in the habit of consistent training once I'd rested. So having the intention of daily movement means I don't get in that rut so easily. It also feels good psychologically that every day I'm doing something to nourish my body instead of just choosing the rot. And that daily consistency is also building the kind of muscle memory of consistency so that I'm more naturally inclined to choose nourishing my body over vegetating. And I can say I have stuck to this 100% of the time. Since the 1st of January, I've been doing it every day. The next habit I've been doing is drinking 2 litres of water every day. Really important to stay hydrated. And actually, most of the time, this is a habit I find it quite easy to stick to. On my normal work days, I've normally downed 2 litres of water by like 3 or 4 p.m. And if I'm training after work, often by the end of the day, I've had like 3 or 4 litres. However, on days when I'm out and about, I do find it harder because I have an overactive bladder, and I've just naturally over the years, almost subconsciously, learned to drink less when I'm out and about because of the logistics. I find if I'm out and about, I don't drink nearly enough when I'm out, so I'm just being really intentional about making sure as soon as I get back, I'm drinking a lot of water, and I know that I'll be drinking a lot before and after, and just making sure I focus on that and don't rely on being able to drink consistently throughout the day. But so far, I can say 100% of the time I have stuck to my 2 litres of water a day, and sometimes up to double that. The next habit I've been doing every day is calf raises. This is literally just an exercise where you go up on your tippy toes and it strengthens your calves, and I do them every day, just 1 set to failure. And I do them generally when the kettle's boiling or I'm waiting for the coffee to brew in my cafetiere. I just do it in my filler time, and I find this pretty easy to stick to. And I'm definitely feeling improvements on that. I hadn't done them in a while. I was doing them quite consistently in the build up to Nice. And then with a lot of time off, I hadn't for a while. And I could only do about 15 on each leg when I came back to it. And now I'm up to about 25, and that's only within 2 weeks. So I'm hoping by the time I do my 36-hour ultra in July, my calves will be hench. Okay, next thing I've been focusing on is eating 90 grams of protein per day. I think the recommendation is to have around 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight for runners. I don't find this that naturally easy. I have to be very intentional about it. I have to track what I eat. I'm vegetarian, so I'm not eating meat, but I can easily get it into my diet when I am intentional about it and when I am tracking what I eat. I have managed to do this every day since I started the challenge, but sometimes it does mean I get to the end of the day, I'm tracking things on MyFitnessPal, and I realize I'm about to go to bed and I'm a few grams of protein short, and I have like a baby bell right before I go to bed just to make up my protein target. Most days I have a protein shake because that gives a big boost of protein, and that really helps take me over my target. But there are some days I do manage to hit my protein target without supplementing, but I do get a fair bit through tofu, tempeh, eggs, cheeses, beans and pulses, and then even like vegetables and things have a bit of protein. So I have been consistent about hitting my protein goal, and that in tandem with the strength training I've been doing, with the calf raises, with the running, hopefully is going to make me really strong come ultra season. And another habit I've been doing every day, and I've really enjoyed this one, is doing a daily breathwork or meditation exercise to help me reduce stress. I adore doing breathwork. I'm a certified facilitator. It is a big part of my life. And I also get a lot from meditation, particularly when I'm doing it consistently every day. But as someone who just struggles to show up with daily habits generally and stick with them, it's been quite a while since I've had a daily practice where I've done a breathing or a meditation practice every single day. The last time I did it, probably, for a significant amount of time, was when I was doing my breathwork facilitation training, which was in 2020, and that was part of my course, was I had to track my personal journey, and I loved having that time to myself, but I haven't really been that consistent since then. I've been really enjoying playing around with different breathing exercises and listening to recordings. I use Insight Timer, sometimes putting just a meditation timer on and sitting in silence. I've been mixing up and playing with it. I'm really trying to listen to what my nervous system needs to manage stress on a given day. Mostly it's been amazing and really helpful, but being honest, I can't say I have done the habit every day, but I can't say I've done it really wholeheartedly every day. Some days I really carve out time and I sit down and I'm really intentional about what breathing exercise I'll do and what I need to get out of it. Other days, it gets to the end of the day, I realize I haven't done my breathing or meditation exercise, and I know I need to tick it off on my list. I have a little habit tracker, and honestly, it just feels like I'm going through the motions a little bit. And that's particularly on days when I'm really stressed or really busy or things are full on at work. Then I kind kind of am a bit half-hearted about my practice, and actually those are the days I really do need it the most. And as we get into the year and work is evolving, I am noticing my stress levels creeping up a little bit. And as this challenge goes on and I'm trying to do these daily habits, I really want to be more intentional about carving out time for those breathing exercises and for looking after my stress and my nervous system every day. So I'm going to try and do that earlier in the day, so I'm not just rushing to tick a box at the end of the day, being proactive about being with my breath, and actually even more so when I'm stressed or feeling overwhelmed. And finally, the last habit I'm focusing on for these 75 days, and it was a big one that held me back last year, is sleep. Last year was a hard year for me for sleep. Between trying different ADHD medications, one of which really impacted on my sleep, and then also just feeling like I had so much on my plate, I felt like I couldn't get things done if I didn't stay up late to get them done. I really let sleep go last year, and I would say it wasn't unusual for me to miss a night of sleep altogether every week. And, you know, isolated, it's not the end of the world, but it was pretty consistent throughout the year, and I didn't really acknowledge until looking back on the year how bad it's been, the bad habits I've got into, and how much it was impacting me with my running and also my life and my well-being and my mental health, which all impacts on running. It's all intertwined. I knew this would probably be the hardest of the habits for me to crack, because staying up late when other people have gone to bed and I feel like I'm the only person awake, it just feels really peaceful. It feels like my most productive time. It feels like I'm the best version of myself. As everyone else seems to be winding down, I feel like I'm stepping into my energy and feeling more calm and more resourced, and like I haven't got demands from other people, and that I can just be and be myself. And it's a really nice feeling. I can't do that regularly. I can't be scrimping on sleep. So it was letting go of something that I really enjoyed, but it was a bad habit. It wasn't serving me. So at the start of the year, I made a commitment that I was going to get 8 hours of sleep every night throughout this 75-day challenge, and hopefully beyond. Now, if I'm honest, 9 hours is my optimum sleep time. I think if I was left to my own devices and I had no other stresses, 9 would be my ideal sleep time to feel refreshed. But when I look at my work and my other commitments and running and social life and chores, it's not really that realistic for me to sleep 9 hours every night. And I do feel pretty refreshed on 8 hours sleep, and it was more about having a full night's sleep every night. And I do sleep a bit longer at the weekends if I do have time to sleep in, so I do catch up. But 8 hours is a good solid night for me. So far in the first 2 weeks of 2026, this is the one habit I have fallen short on a few times and not completed fully every day. But to be honest, I consider it a win, because I think there have been 3 nights that I haven't slept for 8 hours, but all 3 of those I slept over 7 hours. And yes, that's not optimum for me, but the past version of myself, once they'd stayed up late and got into something and knew it was going to be less sleep, they would have wanted to just stay up all night and not look after themselves. So the fact that this version of me is going, okay, I didn't get to sleep when I wanted to, but I'll go to sleep now and I'll get as much sleep as I possibly can, that's a win. That's real progress, because it's not about doing it perfectly, but it's about doing the best I can. And I didn't want to get in a position of being like, oh, well, I've missed a habit, so I've messed it up now. And all it is I've fallen short 3 nights. And one of the nights it was just because I woke up early in the morning and I did feel okay. But 2 of them, it was because I stayed up too late and didn't manage my time properly. So it's a learning, and I did learn from it, and hopefully I won't do that again. But I'm really proud of how consistent I've been with that habit, given what an issue it was throughout last year and how much I feel like I get out of staying up late or staying up all night to be productive and get things done when there's no one else around. So I haven't done a single all-nighter this year, and I don't intend to. I'm proud of where that part of the journey is, even though it is short of perfect. So that's the first 2 weeks of the challenge, the start phase, building the solid habits to hopefully become a better runner, a stronger runner, a more positive runner, a happier runner, and just to have a really good year of running. As this challenge continues, I want to share more of the ins and outs of it. I want to share more vlog style content of taking you along with me, figuring these things out. But so far with this challenge, I'm feeling so good with everything that I'm hoping I can just continue these habits long after the 75 days is over. I mean, that's the whole point. These New Year challenges are not about the new year at all. It's just kind of an excuse to draw a line under old habits and start something new, and the intention is to keep it going. This challenge is about building the foundation, hopefully, for a better life. So yes to a better life. On that note, I will end the video. If you're enjoying the 75-day challenge, please give the video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how your year has started. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel to follow what I am confident is going to be a banging year of running. Thank you so much for watching. It's a joy to have you here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.